Welcome back to Let's Play Higurashi Matsuribayashi. It's been a little over 2 weeks, and this whole week so far has been nothing but a heat wave, so that kinda sucks. So like if you can hear like this, you can probably hear the ceiling fan on as well as my regular fan here. Maybe, I don't know. Doesn't matter. So that was the 6th, it's the 22nd today, so yeah, a little over 2 weeks. But we won't get anywhere, you know, until the report from Satoko. Uploaded the previous part yesterday, so here we are with another court session. I don't know why Rika-chan is so suspicious of Satoko-san. Personally, I feel bad for her. But what she said makes sense too. Rika-chan is an important person. We can't let anyone suspicious get near her. Satoko is making it sound like he's going to prove Takuno's innocence. I guess I can't blame him since he's in love with her. To be honest, I'm also hoping that Takuno isn't guilty. Takuno understands me and she was one of my allies. I had a friendship with her, I've trusted her for over 100 years. But Hanyuu says that Takuno's guilty. Something pops out when we poke her. Then the question's how well tongue-tying can catch it. To get people to help me, I have to find proof of Takuno's guilt. So I'll just have to trust Tomotaki for now. Tomotaki-san, please be very careful. If she is guilty, then you'll be in danger too. I understand. I'll move to a new hotel without letting the Institute know. I should probably leave Hembizar immediately. But if Takuno-san is guilty, that would backfire. That's pretty tough, yeah. It's a cardinal rule to act normally during a secret investigation. Would you prefer to stay with me? Oh, that's alright. It's fine. I'll be very careful. But Rika-chan's safety is a priority here. What should we do? What should we do, Hanyuu? What should we do? You already, pretty much said what you got a plan to do and just seemingly forgot. Using chess as an example, you're like an unprotected king. As soon as Takuno gets a hold of you, the game's over. One of the most important rules in chess is to guard the king first, right? Yes, today is Thursday. Tanagachi is in 3 days. You need to hide somewhere nobody can find you until at least then. You know, I don't really expect to get an answer to my question here. I mean, I could just look it up myself, really, but they'll ask anyway. I'm not really too familiar with the rules of chess, so the king's the most important piece. But what about the queen? That seems like an important piece as well, but for the checkmate it has to be the king. So what role does the queen play? Like, all the other ones are kind of like, the pawns, yeah, they can be taken just fine. All the other pieces, but if the king is, taken, then it's game over. But what about the queen? What role does the queen play in chess? I've never really fully understood chess, because I can kind of understand how the pawns move, and I forget, is it a bishop, the one that kind of can move, really far, up or sideways, vertical and not diagonal, horizontal. But the one piece I've always been confused with how it moves is the knight. It has a weird, movement. I've never understood it. Anyways, in 3 days you need to hide somewhere nobody can find you until at least then. Any idea where? You already said where you were planning to go. I think you should ask Mion. That's true. The Sonozaki family's underground storehouse would be an ideal place to hide. Satoko should go with you too. If I leave Satoko behind, they'll question her about my whereabouts. She may be in danger too. That means I'll have to tell the truth to at least Satoko and Mion. Now, the comic plot we discussed wasn't just fiction. Still, I always seem to underestimate their reliability. It really is beyond my imagination. I need to talk to them. I have a feeling they'll believe me. They're my steadfast allies, after all. We're going into hiding for a while. There's a perfect place for that at Mion's house. Will you really be safe there? Yes, it's like an air raid shelter. It has everything we need. We can easily stay there for about a month. So the second family's underground storehouse has every basic necessity in case someone actually had to live there due to some complication or another. Mion has mentioned before that it's like a unique vacation house. I don't know how you can call a place a torture room a vacation house, though. I don't know how long my investigation into Takuno-san will take, but as soon as I find out something, I'll call Mion-chan's house. Is that okay? That works fine. To tell you the truth, the man dogs have a bug on Rika-chan's home phone for security reasons, so that works better either way. Me? So somebody has been listening to all my personal conversations? No, it's set up so they can tune in, but that doesn't mean they're listening to every normal conversation. They only do it when they have a security drill. This happens a few times a year. I bet my phone at the clinic is being wiretapped too, huh? Well, yes, that's because of the purpose of the facility, though, please understand. Excuse me, how do they actually do that? Rika-chan's long line branches off to remember the little shack behind the shrine. The line leads into there, which is where they wiretap it. Usually there's no one there, but once the mounting dogs receive orders to guard her, there will be 2 agents recording conversations in there all the time. Of course, they don't usually record anything. Is there a security drill scheduled in the near future? Or maybe orders to guard her? Security drills take place in January, April, July, and October, so there's no drill this month. Orders to guard her are given only when they anticipate an emergency. They haven't been given even once since the institution was established. Who gives those orders? The director does, which is me. But Takuno-san is a surrogate director, so she can send out orders too. Takuno really is the person who wants to kill Rika-chan, then she'll use the mountain dogs to spy on her. That's very possible. In other words, if you'll start to go in and out of that shack, it means that Takuno has made her move. So we can take that as proof that tensions are building around Rika-chan, right? I don't know if that would prove that Takuno-san is behind it, but we can take it as a sign that danger is approaching. I'm pretty much giving them the same voice here. Indeed, regardless of whether Takuno is guilty or not, that's what it means. As long as we keep our eyes on the shack, Rika-chan will stay safe and secure. That's a great idea. But there's one problem, Rika. If there are no lights on in the house at night, it'll be obvious to everyone that there's nobody home. Takuno doesn't even have to wiretap your phone. As soon as she sees the house, she'll realize you're skipping school and ran away. You're right, and that puts Tomotaku's investigating Takuno in a tight spot. We'll have to think of something to counteract that. So we're dealing with having to observe the wiretapping shack like Akasaka was saying earlier. Then there's the problem with having to keep the lights on at your house. It's also the fact that it's better for Akasaka to stay in the village. If I put all 3 together and mix them up, I get... Ow, 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 ow! I have an idea. Oh, no, you aren't thinking about letting Akasaka stay at my house, are you? Oh, no, 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 absolutely not. The house is such a mess, it smells like... and it's filthy, I can't let Akasaka stay in it. No, no, no! I guess I can stay over. Ow, 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 ow! I said no! No, 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 no! Why are you making such a fuss, Rika-chan? And your voice sounds very different. Meep. I lost my cool there for a moment. Meep. Jeez, just because Hanyuu's insisting, okay? Ow, 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 ow. What the hell is the ow, ow, ow in there? Is this Rika's perspective? And I'm confused. Was she thinking ow, 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 her catchphrase for whatever reason? I don't know. It's true that if Rika-chan's house ends up empty, there won't be any lights on at night. And leaving them on, well, would be even more suspicious. Akasaka, Meep. What do you think of staying at my house while I'm gone? I see. That's a great idea. As long as it's okay with you, Rika-chan, let's do that. Akasaka seems to think it's a pretty good idea. Am I selfish for wanting him to get a little embarrassed about staying at my house? I should be ashamed of myself. Ow, 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 ow. Why is Rika thinking with Hanyuu's catchphrase. Unless it's Hanyuu's. That wouldn't make sense, though. I mean, I guess Hanyuu technically lives there as well. Everything is set. Tomotachi is going to get in touch with his colleagues in Tokyo and start an investigation on Takano. That's all. That's all we can do from our end. Irie is going to lead his normal life. To act normally after something like this will be pretty difficult, but there really isn't anything else for him to do right now. Takano is sly. She'll never let Irie ruin her plans. Actually, Irie only comes into the picture after Takano has been exposed. Rishi didn't say he would help, but he said he wouldn't interfere with us. In fact, there are some people with ties to the mountain dogs at the police department too. It's probably best if Rishi acts normally, like Irie is. Then we're going to tell Satoko the truth and hide at Mion's house for a while, starting today. Don't know how long I'll have to hide, but it'll be at least until something happens. Akasaka's going to stay at my house and make it look like I'm homesick. If something happens, coming all the way from Okuma would take too long. It feels much better to have him stay in the village. Everything will begin only once Tomotachi finds out something. Irie says he hopes things will get moving soon, but I don't think we need to worry about that. They will try to kill Tomotachi on the night of Tanagashi on Sunday, 2 days from today. That has never changed in many, many worlds, so that's definitely their plan. In other words, even if Tomotachi doesn't find anything, the wheels will start turning in 2 days. I had warned Tomotachi again to be extremely careful. But still, if I still get killed, I'll curse your family for 7 generations after I die. Putting a curse on Tomotachi's family? Wait, how would that work if he dies as well? I mean, I guess he would have other family members, I guess. It's already getting dark. Everyone went home except for Akasaka. I'm still thinking about how to tell Satoko about Akasaka and also about what's to come.
Worrying about it won't solve anything, Rika. You have a bad habit of underestimating your friends.
But how can she believe that what we talked about at school today is actually real? How can she believe me when I tell her that her life's in danger? And I'm bringing home this guy she's never met before.
Don't you think Satoko will believe you?
I don't know. It's possible that she won't.
So Satoko isn't your friend, is she?
What? What Hanyuu just said startled me. It was kind of a scary thing to hear, even though she said it while wearing her usual warm smile.
I know Satoko is one of us. I think she will believe you and become your ally against Takano. But you're saying you can't trust her. That's like saying Satoko isn't your friend. If she isn't even your friend, then why waste your time telling her about it? Ow. Let's just leave Satoko behind and go to Mion's house by ourselves, just the two of us.
What are you saying? That's nonsense. Satoko's my best friend, and...
If you don't think it's worth telling her the truth, then that's it. You just think a best friend is like a stray cat that you feed every day. I'm actually surprised to learn that you've been letting Satoko live with you when you think of her like that.
I didn't say that. Satoko is my best friend. My very best. Yes, she's even closer to me than you are.
But you don't believe she will believe. It's the same as sprouting your complaints at a stray cat that you feed every day. You know the cat can't do anything, and knowing that you still complain to her. And that's all your relationship is. Ow, poor Satoko. She believes you're her best friend, but you don't feel the same way.
Ow, damn you! I tried to slap Hanyuu, but I couldn't touch her. And went through her cheek and hit only the air. So she can kind of, like, appear there physically to everyone else, but then she can go back to that as well. It's quite odd. I mean, it makes sense. She is like a deity of sorts. But still, it's a bit weird how it just changes like that. I can't believe she made herself incorporeal again. How dare you? That's cheating. And you disappeared saying ow in a teasing manner. I'm upset, but I can totally understand what she was getting at. Will your roommate agree?
I'll make her agree. Satoko has nothing to do with this conspiracy, but since she lives with me, she's going to end up involved anyway. For Satoko's sake, I have to explain this to her.
Should I wait outside?
No, I think it'll be better to have you with us so she doesn't think it's a joke.
If I can't explain it properly, can you help? Sure, I will. I went up to the second floor of Akasaka. To be honest, I couldn't even imagine how to start bringing it up. If even Hanyuu made fun of me, I can't hesitate. Made up my mind and walked into the room and was surprised. My master room is all cleared up. Satoko is packing her pajamas and towels into her duffel bag. It's as if she's going on a camping trip. Satoko, I'm home.
Here, I got your luggage ready too. We can't just borrow toothbrushes and towels from Mion-san, you know. Besides, we can't let such a strange man stay in a messy room either. This is why I always tell you to tidy things up around here.
I blinked in surprise. I don't understand why Satoko already knows what's going on. If she saw me, Yuri and Tomozaki talking behind a shrine of Ichi and a strange man, she'd be sure to get curious. Satoko must have overheard our conversation. Not only that, she packed our luggage and cleaned our room, which means she already knows Akasaka's going to stay in this house. I mean, if she learned that bit as well, how the hell did she have time to get back to do the cleaning? She must have come home in a hurry to get things done.
So it wasn't just a storyline for some comic, was it? Me. You know, that's what I don't like about you, Rika. Have I ever doubted you before? I always thought that I was your best friend, that you would count on me before anyone else.
I'm sorry. That's probably, well, Hanyuu obviously knows that her friends would believe her regardless, but, you know, the fact that she probably saw that Satoko was eavesdropping on them probably added to it as well. Satoko doesn't seem that angry. Rather, she seems shocked that what we talked about at school is real. She isn't really that upset. This is exactly what Hanyuu said. I thought Satoko was my best friend, yet I couldn't trust her completely. Having realized this, I apologized. Satoko turned around as if to tell me there's no time for apologies. I think she accepted it. As a proof of that, she is getting things ready to go to Mion's house. Thank you, Satoko.
Akasaka-san is it? I don't know how you and Rika-chan know each other, but if you're Rika's ally, then you're mine too. They call me Satoko Hojo.
Nice to meet you. I'm Akasaka. The conspiracy surrounding Rika-chan runs pretty deep, and it's not easy to explain. She was afraid you'd reject her after she confessed to everyone, so please try to understand how she felt too.
Of course I understand. I'm Rika's best friend, you know. She always figured that I didn't believe her. Who would? I can understand why she'd be afraid.
You're really mature, Satoko-chan. Rika-chan is lucky to have you as her best friend. I'm pretty envious of her. Satoko took Akasaka around the house and explained everything. She let him know that the switch for the hot water heater sticks a little and that if the picture on the TV gets messed up, it needs to tap at night. She even told him about all the traps she set around the shrine using a secret map of hers. Akasaka listened to her dead seriously. Upon seeing them talk, I couldn't help but smile. Hanyuu also smiled while watching us. But it felt like she was saying, I told you so. I'm going to pretend that I didn't notice her. If our contrarian Satoko believed me this easily, then our simple-minded Mion will believe us even more easily. Keiichi doesn't even know how to doubt people and run out of sharp instincts, so she'll believe me too. So is everyone going to believe me? So everyone's going to believe me, huh? Hanyuu didn't reply, but she smiled as if she's happy to see that I grew a little.
Alright, there's plenty of things in the refrigerator. Rika, you're asking him to house sit, so why don't you make dinner for him tonight? Besides, just to be safe, perhaps we should go over to Mion's house a little later.
Oh, don't worry. I can handle that myself.
Ow, this is a chance to serve your homemade food, Rika. Ow.
You really are annoying today. Alright, Satoko, we have to make something good, huh? I have an idea. Can you bring out the large kimchi bottle from the refrigerator? No, not that one. The one that says death penalty, not the one that says punishment. Let's make kimchi fried rice today. Akasaka, do you like spicy food? Oh yes, I love spicy things.
Ow.
She doesn't.
Your puffs in the refrigerator have expired, so let's throw them away. Oh, what a waste. I heard they're from a famous shop in Gogura. Throwing away the goods she likes. The ow-ows are really awfully loud today. Maybe a stray dog's howling somewhere. Night is falling on the 16th of June. The pieces are lining up on the final game board one after another. No, pieces isn't the right word to call them. Night is falling on the 16th of June. We're gaining reliable allies for this final challenge. Our first key, Tomitake, will be killed in 3 days. Fate is going to change before that point, so 3 days, so Tanagashi takes place on the 19th of June, I guess. I mean, I imagine maybe it's like an event that like changes the date every year, I don't know, but it's always in June. Or maybe it's always on the 19th of June. You know, that was a long scene when you think about it. All of that, like, took part without this type of transition here. Like, from the previous 2 parts as well. Like, achievement unlocked, setting up the pieces. But let me guess, no tips. What even is the point in having the tips if there's none? Bit of an odd transition, this, isn't it? Brother-san and Hojo-san are absent today because they both have colds. The weather is changing, so it's easy to get sick. Make sure you cover yourselves when you go to sleep, okay? You know, it's like, in the previous record session, which I was surprised, I did over 2-hour record session during the start of a cold I had for over a week. And I think, like, it was the change in weather that, like, caused my cold, probably. And it's like a freaking heat wave now, but I find it weird I was able to do a 2-hour record session, like, and I mentioned, like, not long before, like, recording, I was like, oh yeah, I had a really sore throat the day before or something like that. I did a 2-hour record session where I'm reading and voice acting. It's like, how the hell did I manage that? But, you know, the cold was mostly, like, you know, nose being clogged up or, you know, runny. It's kind of would alternate between the two. Horrible cough, you know, stuff like that, more than the sore throat, really, and, like, body aches and all that. But now it seems like that's probably gone and been replaced with, oh, bloody hell, man, this freaking heat is ridiculous. Okay. Let's see what it says in Japanese. Probably hi. Well, how about it? I was right. Hi. I mean, it's just stretched out there, isn't it? Just ha and then e. Oh, they live together, so I guess they called it together. Rika-chan's supposed to perform as a shrine maiden on the day of Kanagashi. I hope she'll be okay, I hope. We're planning to have lots of fun at the festival. I hope they recover by tomorrow somehow. Yeah, do you want to go see them on our way home? Maybe we can bring something healthy for them to eat too. We don't need to. By the way, can you two stop by this old man's house today? Mion usually enjoys ideas like bringing people food when they're sick. I guess they've already filled Mion in on the details. For whatever reason, she was a little curt today. Actually, she's been acting a little different since this morning. Not that we really noticed, because it just transitioned without any words or any dialogue, no text, nothing. It was like that, the way it started there reminded me of Onikakushi, you know.
Because that kind of started in that way. I mean, it didn't technically, because you had that train ride back to Inbizao a bit. I think they were on a train, Keiichi and all that, when they were returned to Inbizao, but that's how it started. But then, like, it started with, like, Keiichi, you know, going to school. He met up with Renner on the way, then Mion. Remember that? I mean, that was ages ago. That was a couple of years back since I played through Onikakushi, but still. Even though when I talked to her thoughts seemed somewhere else. Now she's asking Renner and me to stop by at her house.
Your house, Mi-chan. What for?
Well, I need to talk to you about something important. I can't tell you right now, though. Mion seemed calmer than usual, which told me that it was about something very serious.